Thanks, Senator Whitehouse. Senator Hirono.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Before I get to my questions, I would like to say that as we reel from the murders of little children and teachers in Texas, the fact that the Senate has failed to take positive action on gun legislation in even the most minimum way causes me to agree with what Michael Moore said last night, and that is, and I'm paraphrasing, that we love guns more than we love our children. We're going to have a chance to vote on two bills that our majority leader is seeking to bring to the floor, two bills passed by the House, and I hope that we will take action because only in this country is firearms the leading cause of death for children and teens, outpacing deaths from car accidents, cancer, and COVID-19 in 2020. I have no words except to call upon my colleagues to, it shouldn't even take courage to pass on these two bills that our majority leader is going to bring to the floor. Congratulations to both of you for your nominations, and I ask the following two initial questions of every nominee who appears before every committee on which I sit. I will ask you these questions. Since you became a legal adult, have you ever made unwanted requests for sexual favors or committed any verbal or physical harassment or assault of a sexual nature?
No, Senator.
No, Senator.
Have you ever faced discipline or entered into a settlement related to this kind of conduct?
No, Senator.
No, I have not.
Judge Merriam, when I saw the Leilani as part of your name, that was a big giveaway that you have some kind of connections to Hawaii. And I understand you were born in Hawaii. How long did you live there?
Thank you, Senator. Yes, it's a privilege to speak to you. Having been born in your state, I was born in 1971. We stayed about 6 months before we moved to North Carolina.
Well, I hope that even after 6 months that you carry with you the aloha spirit and how you deal with people, which is with fairness, objectivity, and need I say love. So you've had quite a varied career, and I note that obviously Judge Meskill was really an important influence on you, and you noted that you learned from him to separate your political views from your legal opinions, and at your investiture you talked about your time working for a union and said that job is where I learned to fight for people who have no voice and to connect with people who might not be open to the message I was bringing. So how did you do that? How did you connect with people who might not want to listen to what you were saying?
Thank you, Senator. I tried to speak to people on their own terms to help them understand why I was there. And I've tried to do that in every job, whether I have been acting as a judge or as a defense lawyer or a civil lawyer or with the union members. At the end of the day, my job in the union was to try to save the jobs of my members. And interestingly, larger issues of politics sometimes came into the discussion, but at the end of the day, my job was to keep them working and feeding their families. And I just tried to help them understand that that's what I was there to do.
Thank you. Ms. Montecalvo, I was quite taken with the interview you did with the Rhode Island Women's Bar Association in connection with your receipt of the organization's Newsmaker of the Year. And when you were asked about changes you would like to see in the criminal justice system, as part of your answer, you said you'd want to, quote, see a serious reckoning with the indisputable fact that racial inequities permeate the system. Can you discuss some of the racial inequities you've seen during your time as a public defender?
Thank you, Senator. I think our legal system is the best anywhere in the world. And the words above the Supreme Court, equal justice for all, are an ideal that we all strive for. In that interview, I mentioned our Rhode Island Supreme Court, which sent a letter to the Rhode Island lawyers in the state in June of 2020, asking us to think about the way racism may have infected our Rhode Island legal system. One of the ways the court pointed Rhode Island lawyers, one of the ways it directed us to address racism within our own legal practice was for private attorneys to level the playing field by spending time at pro bono work, and for public defenders like myself to dedicate themselves to representing those of us who are disconnected from our legal service, our legal system, who have limited resources. And that was one way that we could begin to address the problems the court saw in our Rhode Island court system.
Mr. Chairman, I just want to note that I hope that you will bring that kind of understanding that there are implicit biases that we all have that could impact the objectivity, and that you seek to overcome those biases. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Senator Blackburn.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you all for being with us today. And it's such a somber day. We all are thinking about the pressure